Welcome back to Dimitri's Garage. Today we're going to take a look at a brand new product from HydroSilex. It is their wipe-based ceramic coating system that includes this Rewind Wipe that is a degreaser and this Recharge Wipe, which is the ceramic coating. Now this is something that I've never really tested or seen before, so today we're going to take a look at the ease of application, the visual appeal, the slickness, the gloss, and of course durability testing, and find out if this stuff is any good. Now let's get started with the ease of application. So today we're just testing one product and we're gonna get started with the rewind portion. Now this rewind from HydroSilex is supposed to prep our surface by removing grease, waxes. Now because this is a coating, I did prep the surface with my polisher with a multi-step process to get it ready for bonding. And although I've already deconned this with Isopropyl, it still doesn't hurt to give it another shot with this product. So we're gonna tear this open and see what's in here. Oh, it's a little, almost kind of like a really big baby wipe. Now we can grab a clean microfiber and use it to dry our surface. Now we're gonna grab our recharge package, open it up and use it much the same way, but we're gonna use a new towel to clean it up, not the degreaser towel. Pull that out, and I think this one I'll probably use layered. I imagine when you're applying it to the car, you're gonna wanna kind of keep it in a kind of a bundle so that you don't immediately let it all dry up. Maybe I'll actually open it up into a slightly larger surface. This is kind of interesting, very wet application. But they say that you should be able to do a whole compact car with 2 packages. Now we're gonna take our clean terry and kind of spread things around, flip it over. It does feel like it's getting slicker, and I'm being very light with my passes. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on here to make sure we don't have any high spots. If you're new to my channel and my testing, ease of application is graded on a pass-fail score of either 1 point or 0 points. If the product I felt was easy to use based on the type of product it is, like spray products are meant to be very easy, I would give it a point. Now, I would give it 0 points if it was hard to use. Wipes are a brand new category. I don't have a lot to compare it to. I think comparing it to a spray is the fairest. And I would say this is easy. I think the only caveat is if you're doing a small surface, you're gonna waste a lot of product. The product we're really scoring here is the Recharge wipes. The Rewind we're also testing, but we're not really giving that a score. So for the Recharge ceramic coating wipe, we're definitely giving this a pass and 1 point. I think that's totally a fair score. Before we move on to gloss testing, I wanted to let you know that HydroSilex is kind enough to offer a coupon code, which is Dimitri's Garage, and there's a link down below in the description, which will let you get your own kit for free. You just pay for shipping, and that's good until October 6th of 2020. And as usual, there are Amazon links down below in the description to the other products we're using in the video, and all of this definitely helps me out in terms of running the channel. This is my gloss testing station. Here, we utilize my gloss meter to determine if the product we're testing is making the gloss of the panel go up or down. If you're new to the channel, the way the scoring works is for every unit this panel goes up, actually every 1/10 of a unit, we will award that many points. If the gloss goes down, we will subtract that many points or 10ths of points. Now this panel is currently 94 gloss units. The first thing we're gonna do is turn the gloss meter on. We're gonna delete the old results. We're gonna calibrate it. Make sure it says 104. And what I can do is kind of show you that the panel that we have not applied anything to is right at around 94 gloss units. There we go. Now this side of the panel, I've applied the HydroSilex Recharge after using the Rewind Wipe, just like we did with the hood. It's cured for 24 hours, and let's take a look at the gloss. We're gonna take 5 measurements and average them out. Looks like this one's gonna be about 93.1. Looks like, not bad, 94.6 over there. Looks like 94.5 in the middle. Looks like about 93.8 on that side. And 93.7 over here. My total is 469.7. Now we're going to divide that by 5 for an average of 93.94. So we lost about 1/10 of a gloss unit. So we are going to subtract 1/10 of a point from the panel. I wouldn't say that's super statistically relevant. Like 1/10 of a gloss unit is pretty much nothing, but it didn't really raise the gloss of the panel. It just kind of kept it about the same. What I am curious about is if this HydroSilex is resistive to isopropyl alcohol. It doesn't look like it's really resisting, and I can feel the terry getting kind of grippy. Resistive products tend to cause the isopropyl alcohol to create those droplets like you would see with water. And this has to do with being polar versus non-polar, where molecules will repel each other. And isopropyl alcohol doesn't really beat as much as water, but you should still get slight beating if the product is resisting. And I just don't think we're getting anything. Now I did find the SDS sheet for the original HydroSilex Rewind, the bottle, not the wipe. They didn't seem to have the wipe on the website yet. And the original bottle one, which is the Degreaser, does contain isopropyl alcohol. So my thought is if they mean for you to use this Rewind wipe for applying the recharge, it probably makes sense that the recharge does not really resist isopropyl, since that seems to be how they mean for you to wipe it off and prep the panel. You would of course never put isopropyl alcohol on your car between washes unless you're trying to remove the wax, so that's why we don't score this test. This panel has now had 24 hours to cure, and we are ready to start our slickness and visual appeal testing before we move on to the durability test. We're going to start with slickness, and if you're tuning in for the first time, I use my hand to feel how slick the surface is and tell you whether it passed or failed based on my extensive knowledge of other products and how slick they feel, and in a comparison with the untreated side. So the untreated side is very tacky. It will not facilitate good ease of scrubbing off dirt and debris without scratching. And a good product should be very slick and help facilitate that self-cleaning along with hydrophobic properties to get everything off the surface safely without scratches. Now, when I feel the HydroSilex coated side, it does feel slick, definitely slicker than the untreated, but it's just really borderline. I'm still gonna give it a pass, but if it was just a little tackier, I would fail it. The gold standard that we like to use is what I've applied to that Mustang, which is the Wolfgang Deep Gloss 3. And I would say that is probably the slickest product that I've ever tried. But this is unfortunately a little mediocre on the slickness, I have to say. So guys, let's talk about visual appeal. I've placed a sticker here where on the left side, the product begins and there's an optically visible line, at least to my naked eye. And I have to say that I'm a little disappointed. I think the product has made the surface look a little ashy. And now we're on the back side of the hood facing the other way. So the product is gonna be on your right over here. And hopefully you can see the line here as well. And I'm hoping the different angles might demonstrate what I'm talking about. One of the things I might do is leave the log on without adding the extra color processing. So you'll kind of see it straight out of the camera for this shot. And hopefully straight out of the camera without extra color processing might show what I mean a little more. So hopefully you can see what I mean. So overall, I think I'm gonna have to give it a 0 and a fail for optical quality. I'm just not a fan of how this looks. Before we do our durability testing, I wanted to ask you guys to subscribe if you're enjoying this video. Leave me a nice comment or a thumbs up. It does mean a lot to me. I do read all your comments. I try to reply to all of them as fast as I can. I love feeling like we have our own community. It means, really, it does mean a ton to me. This is my durability testing setup. Today it's a rainy Houston morning and I'm kind of doing it halfway in the garage instead of outside as normal. And you can see it's kind of sprinkling out. I just don't want to get my cameras wet. So hopefully you'll still be able to see everything well. The way the scoring here works is we will give 1 point for every hand wash that the HydroSilex Recharge survives. Now we're going to be using Adam's foam cannon with Adam's original shampoo, which we found to be pH neutral. And I will put a video clip up here for you of the testing we did to verify that it's pH neutral. It is the same shampoo we've used every test. And to get things started, let's just see how hydrophobic the HydroSilex is. I have to say it's not that hydrophobic. I think the control right now is almost the same. The big thing is, as soon as you start washing, the control will really degrade in its hydrophobic property, and a good coating or wax should not degrade. So hopefully after the first wash, we'll see a bigger contrast. Otherwise, it's gonna be really tough to judge this particular product. So the way we do our washes is we grab this Adam shampoo, and it's been diluted just like in our testing, and we coat the surface. We take our same wash pad that we've used for every video and we give it a squirt. Give this panel a nice hand wash, and I'll give the control side a wash too. Now, I will say I do feel that there is more slickness on the side as I'm washing. You know, the sponge definitely wanted to go quicker across the surface. Now we do our first rinse. So I think now we're starting to see the difference between the HydroSilex and the control. For example, we definitely see a line here, and we see that things kind of smudged more here while there are more droplets here. Let's give it another shot. So yeah, you can see it's rinsing off faster. You know, I'm really disappointed in the hydrophobic properties of this. It still feels slick. I think we'll use the slickness as a little bit of a gauge. I think maybe we could try giving it another couple of washes. All right, let's do rinse number 2. I don't know, guys. Kind of thinking 2 is gonna be our score. I'll give it one more wash just to see if I feel the slidiness of my sponge, and if I don't, we're gonna call it. I'm gonna kind of just try running it across. I don't know, I'm not feeling really any difference between the two. Something I can show you guys is that the very bottom corner there, I didn't really wash it because, you know, it's right at the ground. I didn't want to get my sponge dirty. So we could see how it used to work before all the washes. See, it's disappearing off there pretty quick. And then take a look kind of in the middle. See how that corner is just gone, but this part doesn't want to go? So yeah, guys, I think realistically I have to say this is going to be 2 points, 2 washes. So let me give you my final thoughts on this product. I think the Recharge and Rewind wipes from HydroSilex are a really cool idea. I think there is a future for something like this. There are people who don't have a nice garage, they don't want to carry a bunch of kit with them. Throwing this and a Terry in your pocket and going to one of those self-service wash bays would be a terrific idea for a lot of people living in the city. You know, my brother-in-law lives in Switzerland. He doesn't have this nice big garage. This could have been perfect for him. But there were areas where the product was let down. So those areas, I think, were slickness. I'm not sure why the product isn't that slick, but it was pretty mediocre. I barely passed. The visual appeal, to me, the product just looked ashy when it was applied compared to the rest of the paint. And also the durability was really weak. 2 washes, and it never really even beaded that well. That's pretty disappointing. Now, I think there were positives. For example, it was easy to use. It was also good at maintaining gloss. It only lost 1/10 of a point. It's kind of a myth that most waxes raise gloss. In fact, it's really typically the thickness that you see. It gives that candy coat, like a second clear coat appearance, and that's what we interpret as gloss and looking pretty. Most products dip down the gloss level significantly. Very few maintain it, and even fewer raise it. Those are my thoughts, guys. Remember, there is a coupon code. You can try this out for free. Maybe you'll have better results than me, so definitely give it a shot. You don't have anything to lose. As usual, I'd love to see you guys in the comment. Let me know what you think. I'll catch you again really soon.